So, after yesterday's 3.0 announcement, I am still trying to pick my brains from the walls. And all the builds until 3.0 are most likely going to be outdated. But still, let's talk about this skeleton build. First of all, it is not suited for new players. Well, unless you modify it. And I must say, there are so many ways to modify it. And I kept delaying this video because there are just simply so many things that I could change. Maybe test something else, get better items. You know, playing the build and making build video is kind of different experience for me. Normally I'm just playing for fun and not really trying to push the build to the max. And I'm not really trying to test all the different variations, items and all that stuff. And when I need to make a build video, there are always so many people displeased with my build videos because I didn't buy something expensive or didn't test other options, didn't try to min-max everything. Basically, many people want the complete and most optimized build guide, and I could never understand this. Why do you want everything chewed for you? You just swallow and enjoy? I don't know. So, because this build is not for new players and experienced players don't need detailed guide, I will keep it simple. Treat this video as more like theory crafting. Maybe I should start by comparing skeletons to zombies and SRS, and I will take a look at their damage. Level 19 skeletons have 833 DPS. Level 19 zombies have 791 DPS, and level 19 SRS have 835 DPS. So as you can see, skeletons have nearly the same DPS as raging spirits. However, they do have extremely low life, so the first thing that we need to worry about is not about the damage, but how are we going to survive it. So for that I am using Necromantic Aegis. Basically I give my shield to minions, and for the shield I chose to use Victario's Charity. It gives some life resistances, and also it increases my skeleton's DPS, because 5% chance to grant frenzy charge to nearby allies on hit. This works great against bosses. And for minions, charges grant a bit different stats than for players. For minions, each frenzy charge grants 15% increased attack and cast speed, 4% more damage, and 5% increased movement speed. That is per frenzy charge, so that's 3 times more. Now, I'm not sure if minions have base critical chance, but if we do, then power charges can also increase clear speed. Another thing to worry about is elemental damage. Skeletons have 40% elemental resistances and 20% haste resistance. So I wanted to increase the elemental resistances to the max. And for that I am using Purity of Elements. And I kind of need it for myself as well. For weapon I chose to use Severed in Sleep, and with that my minions poison enemies on hit. But it doesn't seem to be very useful, at least not for skeletons. In theory it should work great against bosses, but I don't think it does. Also, because skeletons die very often, I am using Beacon of Corruption and Minion Instability. Now, the second thing I need to worry about is my own life. As you probably know, minions in this game are really stupid, and not because skeletons don't really have brains, but they are just so hard to control. Let's say there is a pack of monsters and my skeletons are fighting them, and then there's one monster attacking me. Then I'm trying to summon my skeletons to that monster to attack it and protect me, but skeletons are just, nah master, we're gonna kill that monster over there, and I'm left unprotected. So, because this is a witch and there are not that many life nodes around, I need to increase my survivability. So I'm using Formless Inferno helmet. It does increase my armor quite a bit, and also 8% physical damage taken as fire damage. In addition, I am also using Arctic armor. Also, I wish I wouldn't need to use, but I'm using Enfeeble with Blasphemy. On the other hand, it also increases survivability for my skeletons. Of course, if I am close enough. So that is a lot of mana reservation. So here comes third problem, my mana. And you know, I haven't played Eldritch Battery in a long time. So I decided to get Eldritch Battery, Zealot Oath, and use Stone Golem to regenerate my energy shield. And I'm using energy shield to cast my skeletons. And my Stone Golem and of course Zealot Oath provides me all the energy shield regeneration that I need. So I did not need to take mana nodes, aura reservation nodes, mana regeneration nodes. I think this way I might have saved few passive nodes. But running without life regeneration is really scary with this build. Anyway, so in order to increase my life pool even more, I had to use unique jewels and convert intelligence into strength, and strength gives flat life. Maybe rare jewels with increased maximum life would be better, I'm not sure. My rings and amulet are crafted from essences. Essence of Fear increases minion movement speed, which is really important for these walking deads, to make them running deads. Increased skill effect duration on passive skill tree is not really needed. Now let's talk about links. I am still using level 19 skeletons, but 20% quality. They are linked with melee splash for clear speed, 20% quality minion damage, 20% quality minion speed, melee physical damage, and multistrike. For more damage you could probably replace minion speed with something like added fire damage, but I prefer them to be faster. For single bosses I replace melee splash with added fire damage, but in addition I am also using Vaal skeletons. They are linked with minion damage, added fire damage, and minion speed. Now, here's the bad thing about Vaal skeletons. Vaal skeletons contains not only warriors but also mages and archers. So gemlings for Vaal skeletons need to be general. Minion damage and minion speed gems affect all kinds of skeletons, but added fire damage only affects melee warriors and archers. My stone golem is linked with melee splash, and I know for damage it would be better to use something like melee physical damage or added fire damage, but I'm not really using it for damage. I'm just using it to clear weak monsters faster. Another links are faster attacks and minion damage. I am also using cast and damage taken linked with Immortal Call. By the way, important thing is I'm using Spirit Offering. This is good for two things. My skeletons gain extra chaos damage and they gain some survivability, and it is linked with increased duration gem. So that's basically it. The build is really not among the strongest, but I was able to do up to tier 13 maps. I haven't tried the higher tier maps. Also, I was able to do normal Adziri, soft breach, but you know, it's not without deaths, because both skeletons and me die pretty easily. But I did enjoy this build. I would be interested to know how would you improve this build, so share your ideas in the comments. If you liked this build, then you might like my other builds. On the screen you should see my build video playlist. There are some funny ones. Also, you can now find me on Twitter, Woolfio_YT. And lastly, I am planning one more build before end of the breach. And it should be pretty simple and actually good for league start. So, thanks for watching and see you soon!